And so I'm basically getting called out as a fraud here. And lo and behold, look at every other country on this list. I disagree with this. You've got Bucharest on this list. I don't get that at all. I went there. I would never, I don't think I ever want to go back. And Kuwait City, that's a weird one. I don't know what to say. The Economist has just come out with its top 10 and bottom 10 most livable or least livable cities in the world. I've seen the list and there's some I disagree with and there's some that I do agree with. I'm going to tell you my favorites and my least favorites, and we're going to talk about where you might be thinking about where you want to go in 2025. Maybe you want to be going in the opposite direction. Hi, this is Jeremy from the Millionaire Migrant. We're here to help people at different stages in their life to take advantage of all the opportunities that can be found all around the world. I'm talking tax, investments, citizenship, residency, banking, you name it. Here I am looking at the list. First is Austria. Vienna is nice. I wouldn't say it's one of the most prettiest cities. I wouldn't say it's one of the best. It's definitely not cheap. It does have a citizenship by exception program, which is very, very niche, but it can be done. Other than this, I can't see why it's top. Second is Copenhagen, which I think is crazy. I've got a friend of mine who just came back and she paid 35 euros for 2 cappuccinos and 1 croissant. So I can't really see what is the motivating reason that is why Copenhagen is so amazing. If we go next down, you've got Zurich and Geneva. I went to Geneva. I mean, I've been to both of those places, but I passed through them mainly to go skiing, for example, or to go to conferences or to meet people in the banks there. But I can tell you they're really expensive places. And I get that there might be other metrics here, but the reality is, why are you going to go and live in such expensive places? And the whole point of moving to other countries is that you earn in one currency or the higher threshold, and then you spend your cost of, you enjoy your cost of living in a lower threshold, a tax-friendly threshold, definitely. And that's the whole point. That's where you get quality of life. That's where you feel happy, and that's where you find that it's a livable city. So that I don't understand either. So in between Zurich and Geneva, we've got Melbourne, Calgary, Sydney, Vancouver. So we've got Canadian countries, Australian countries, high tax jurisdictions. Canada is a very interesting place right now. It's in the middle of a trade war and some beef with Trump. But that's a place where I'm dealing with some Canadian entrepreneurs, crypto guys who are coming across and they want to be getting out of there. So I don't see who's going in the opposite direction. Probably people doing the Canadian immigration program, the Australian immigration program. Maybe they rate these places as good places, but that's a different type of people who have different aims and objectives. I would say ultimately their objectives is about getting the passport. I don't see people who are actually already there seeing that this is a fantastic place, because I know how many inquiries we're getting from Australia, from Canada, North America, and even New Zealand as a whole. So we're getting all of those people. Australia is facing some challenges. And by the way, if you're talking about New Zealand, people are living there in very high numbers. If you look at the data, the crime there is really, I never had it as a high crime place, but it's getting a bit out of control. You've also got here Japan. Yeah, my wife's favorite place. We didn't go to Osaka, but Japan, yeah, rents are coming down because they're not having babies. So I think that's good. It means you get on the property ladder. It means you can get lower cost accommodation, but it's also a punchy place for tax. Not had a client for Japanese from Japan for citizenship by investment, but I keep surprising myself when I see the nationalities of the clients that we've got through our citizenship by investment firm, Savory and Partners. We've got some Nepalese recently. We had some Taiwanese as well. So we get all sorts. Maybe we'll get one from Japan soon. Now, if I was to do a list like this, I would say little old me, and I would say, you know what, The Economist, I don't agree with you. This is the places that in all the countries that I've traveled to and lived in. So in terms of countries I've traveled to, probably 85, 86. I don't actually keep a track, but it's around this. I mean, obviously, wife, I was going to say wives, plural, but that's not me. But wife, one is enough. Kids got in the way. I would have traveled to a lot more, but I did when in my younger days, and even today I travel extensively. I do about 70 to 80, 90, 100 flights every single year. I can tell you that the countries that I would probably live, I would say Lisbon, Dubai, Tbilisi, Georgia, and Miami in the US, I'd say is another one. Let me go through these one by one. I'll tell you why they're good. First of all, Lisbon. Low cost of living. So you're not paying 35 euros for 2 cappuccinos and croissants. You can buy an espresso for less than €1. Actually, you pay for €1, but when I told my Portuguese friends it was €1, they said you're paying tourist prices. It's actually 90 cents. So if you compare that, that gives you an idea of how affordable the place is to live. It's got a bit more expensive, everywhere has, but it's still, as far as I'm aware, the second least expensive place to live in Western Europe. Probably number one is what, Latvia, for example. So, you know, if you want Latvia, that's fine. But for me, Portugal, the sun, the coastlines, the people, the hospitality, the safety. I mean, I could go on. So there's Lisbon. After that, I'd say the UAE. Why not? Okay, it does get very toasty in the summer. We're talking about 50 degrees. We complain about it every year, but there's AC, and not all places in Europe have AC. So, and Europe is getting a lot hotter in the summers than I used to remember. But I would say UAE opportunities are boundless. So much you can do, and plus 4 hours. If you don't like it, you want to get away. It's a 4-hour flight to go on a safari in Kenya, to go, you know, swimming with the whale sharks in Maldives, or going to skiing in Georgia. I mean, that's not bad. Cheap as chips to get there as well. So that's interesting. And then you've got Tbilisi, Georgia, which I only found out recently. Again, I was there skiing. It's not Chamonix by any stretch of the imagination, but I really found it was a very vibrant city, very tax friendly. I forgot to mention Lisbon is not so tax friendly, but there are programs that you can take advantage. So you've got the new NHR 2.0, you've got that advantage as well, I would say. But you've also got the UAE, obviously you've got corporate tax 9%, but in the grand scheme of things, that's pretty attractive given where the country's direction right now. You've got Georgia. Georgia is tax-free on any of the income that you generate outside. That's very attractive. What I liked about Georgia is I think it was a place that you could really get on the property ladder, and because it was one of those sweet spots where you can get leverage, but you can also get high capital appreciation and high rental income. So I think for me, this boosts your quality of life, and that's a place to go. And also maybe you don't really like the UAE, it's too hot for you, and you like a little bit cooler weather or a bit more seasonal weather, then that could be an option for you too. Miami is the last on the list. That is a place that has a real buzz around it. So again, if you want to do your Lisbons and your Georgias, your online businesses, it's not that really a lot of money movement going around. There isn't a concentration of wealth. There isn't great networking opportunities. But if you're running an online business, maybe that's not so important to you. You just want to be in a low tax jurisdiction. But if you want to be in and amongst the business, shaking hands with people, networking, being around concentration of wealth, in the same way that UAE is the concentration that attracts, is a finance hub, but it's a trade hub for all of the region, you know, I'm talking everywhere from Africa to India. Miami is that one that is for the South America with North America. So that's where it's at. It's also, just like the UAE, low tax, so very affordable. Well, cost of living, rents, yes, UAE is high, Miami is high, but I think that will change definitely for the UAE. But in the end, it's high because people are moving there. If it's moving there, it means there's business there. If there's business there, that's maybe where you want to live. Here we have the list of the biggest movers down the rankings in the past 12 months. And so I'm basically getting called out as a fraud here because it says that Miami is one of those going down when I just said that I think Miami is one of the best. Right, so I disagree with this. I think that Miami is just a place that's got an energy and a buzz, and I don't know anyone who goes there that doesn't like it. Even people in other states in the US go there and they just love it. But the numbers also show the population is moving up. You've got high net worth people there, and high net worth people attract a kind of ecosystem to serve and to work for them and to collaborate with those people. So why wouldn't you want to do it? So I don't understand why Miami's coming down. Maybe because it was doing really well and there's some, you know, correction. Dublin is coming down. That's interesting. Dublin is a country that I've been visiting for, I have to say, 2 decades right now. I've got friends over there. The thing that I've noticed is that it is getting very expensive, but that is a European situation. A lot of that is the cost of energy because of the war that is going on in Ukraine. So I would say that that is a Europe-wide thing. And lo and behold, look at every other country on this list, and every single one of them is a European city. So why are these cities at the bottom? Why are they going down the ranking? Well, let's go through them. Munich, Hamburg, Stuttgart, well done, Germany's doing well. Brussels, Berlin, Dusseldorf, more Germany, Barcelona in Spain. So out of that, half the list of those countries that are moving down are German. That would explain why we're getting German clients. That would explain when I went to Asunción in Paraguay, there was loads of Germans there. That's why there's so many Germans moving to the UAE. They're not the only nationality, but there's loads of them. Something's going on in Germany, and I would definitely say it is an immigration problem. Definitely it is a security problem. Definitely it is a political problem. these people are leaving in their droves, and it's really, I mean, I'm half European, I'm half French. It's a sad thing to see when you're seeing all of this is going on and watching from afar. But I made the move, people now are making the move, and I just hope that eventually something will happen in Europe where they will get back on their feet and realize that the people in charge are making decisions that are not representative of the people that are there. And lastly, you've got Barcelona, Spain. I did a video talking about Barcelona and Valencia and why people are moving to Valencia. It's literally 40% cheaper in terms of rent. It's the same coastline, it's 3 hours drive. The only difference, it doesn't have an international airport and is less cosmopolitan. But is it worth putting up with the animosity towards foreigners? Is it worth dealing with the mad leftism that is going on there? Is it worth dealing with the immigration problem that is there, the crime problem is there? You go to Valencia. I'm not saying that Valencia is some kind of paradise where there isn't any crime problems. Unfortunately, this is a Europe-wide issue in the major cities at least. But you can see now why Barcelona is bottom of the list. Saying that, I need to remind my wife we're not going on holiday in Barcelona. So partly because I don't want to go there, and partly because I probably won't get much of a good reception. Talking of which, biggest movers up the rankings. What a surprise, Hong Kong. That's an interesting one there. I'd say that place has been a bit spicy in recent years, so it's interesting to see that that's moving up. Singapore, yes, obviously, we talk about this all the time. These are some of the places that the major winners. They're attracting capital. Capital gives people opportunity. So yeah, you might say, well, rich people this, rich people this. It's like, unfortunately, you might be rich one day, right? So, let's not go slagging off all those people that took the risk. Some of them inherited it. Yeah, I've seen it firsthand. I've run a citizenship by investment firm, so I see a lot of rich kids. I get that, I understand. But some of them are self-made people, and I've talked about that in some of my other videos. Budapest is there, third in terms of moving up the ranking, just after Singapore. Stunning city. It does have a residency program. 2 times 10 years, one after the other. 500,000 euros in a real estate fund. No, thank you. I'll do Latvia. It's 50,000 euros. I'd much rather do this. I'd do Portugal as well, probably over that. I'd even do Greece, actual real estate for 250,000 euros. But it is a stunning capital city, Budapest. I don't think people talk about it enough. However, I am often reminded by my mother that it's not Prague. Yes, Mum, it's not Prague, and nothing will ever be Prague. And every time I take her to every European city, she's like, it's not Prague though, is it? I was like, no, it's not Prague. You got Belgrade, would love to go there one day, check it out. You got Ho Chi Minh City. I didn't go there, I went to Hanoi. I wouldn't mind seeing Ho Chi Minh City the other day. Why are people moving there? Why are people moving to Serbia? You've got Bucharest on this list. I don't get that at all. I went there and I would never, I don't think I ever want to go back. Maybe I saw the wrong parts of it. Maybe somebody will say, you should come back and see the nice parts. I hope it's not a trap because I slagged them off. But yeah, anyway. Bulgaria, Sofia, looks quite nice. I would like to go there, although I did have a friend of mine say that they did ask for money at immigration leaving the airport. And then you've got a couple of US cities, Atlanta, Pittsburgh, very interesting. You've also got Beijing in China. Oh, people are moving to Beijing, China. That is interesting as well. I'm not really sure why people are moving there. And Kuwait City. That's a weird one. I don't know what to say. This has been the Economist List. I have agreed with some of it, disagreed with a lot of it. Let us know what you think. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm sorry if I offended one of the cities where you were, but I also know that sometimes you need to visit a second time and give it a bit of a balanced and fair opinion. This is Millionaire Migrant. Contact us, millionairemigrant.com. If you want to know all the opportunities about the world, I've been traveling around the world, I have residencies around the world, I have bank accounts around the world, I have passports around the world, I have properties around the world. So I think that I have a little bit more knowledge than the average person in this sphere. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.